Greetings everyone and welcome to another part of SAS mods, like some of you call it, the anti-mod series. Not every mod I'm including here is going to be a genuine bad mod for you to replace. Some mods in this list will be a bunch of mods that have been outdated and there is a newer version out there. Others will be much more friendly to use for your performance, and many more will be subjective. Take some of the mods here with a grain of salt. I assure you though, in my many years of using most of those mods, the ones I'm including, at least half of the mods I am putting in those videos, they are going to cause issues to your game. If you want to follow for more of those, feel free to like the video or subscribe. Only 9.2% of you guys are subscribed to the channel, so Kavou will appreciate it a lot. That being said, thank God this is out of the way. Let's actually jump to the series. We have an engine type of mod called Skyrim Platform. This mod has gotten a recent update and I have tried it myself. It doesn't appear to be as buggy as before. However, I do get some issues here and there. In case you don't know, different type of mods require you to use Skyrim Platform in order for them to work. For instance, I remember myself using the Elden Ring UI, which required me to have Skyrim Platform. Do you know what happened when I've installed Skyrim Platform? The game was even worse than my videos. That's how bad it was. You can try yourself to use the latest patch if you really need this to run any other mods. I will try and suggest you that if any other mod require you to use Skyrim Platform, to avoid using this mod. Skyrim Platform, extremely buggy, it's going to cause you all the crashes in the world. I'm not trying to be mean to the creator, of course, and you guys can let me know down in the comment section. Every time I've used this mod, I always had a bad day. Maybe it's just me, like in most of those mods. I really think that this has been one of the most SAS mods I've ever had to use before. Next we have amazing follower tweaks. One of the very first mods I've ever used. The only thing we had in order to adjust how the followers acted like in Skyrim, it was this, and it was very good for its time, but it was causing so many problems. There are so many other better options for you to use. I don't expect many people run this, but if someone is a beginner when it comes to modding Skyrim and come across this, there is two options for you to replace this with. There is the Nether's follower framework, which has been causing some issues here and there, but for the most part it's fine to use. It completely overhauls how followers work, and if you like something different, I am personally using the relationship dialogue overhaul. Also has an update version right here which completely fixes most of the issues. Doesn't matter which either of those frameworks you get, have in mind that follower frameworks are always very messy, but you have to pick the one you trust the most or the one which is causing you the least amount of issues. Next we have one of the messiest mods of all time, and this is OBS. It's a mod that kinda works like immersive creatures. It's a mix of immersive creatures and speed. It adds hundreds if not thousands of different type of bandits in that case for you to encounter. This mod has always been an extremely messy mod to have, and OBS, similar to Dynalot, is going to be one of those mods that it will be extremely complicated to install if you are new to modding. If you know what you're doing, you should be fine with Dynalot, but with OBS, doesn't matter how good you are at modding, I think this mod will always cause crashes and it's going to cause so many issues to your game. There is so many better options to use, guys. I don't think again that many people run this, but when it comes to the sheer statistics of this mod, I've seen few mod lists on the internet promoting this one. I would recommend you not to run this. I love using Madman. It's a newly added mod that came out few weeks ago, a Forsworn overhaul which completely enhances how the Forsworn play in Skyrim. It makes it just so much better. You can mix it as well with one of my most favorite modders, the Delta Riders dynamic dragon spawns or the dynamic immersive dragons, the series that he has, and also you can put the newest bandit overhaul which is called Lawless. If you put all of those mods together, you're going to have a much more better end result without any issue issues, I have over 100 hours with all of those mods combined, and none of those has caused problems to my game. It was probably something else. Okay, next is going to be one of those, as you guys call it, the clickbait type of mods that I'm adding here. Lanterns of Skyrim. And you will say, Kavou, Lanterns of Skyrim? Why Lanterns of Skyrim? It's a great mod. It doesn't cause problems or crashes, and you're right. Aside from some landscape issues, this mod is fine. Then why the fuck include this, Kavou? What's wrong with you? Because there is a new version of this called Lanterns of Skyrim 2. I first heard about this 2 years ago. I was using Lanterns of Skyrim, the very first version. I had no idea a better version existed for the longest of time, and this is why you should replace Lanterns of Skyrim 1 with Lanterns of Skyrim 2, because 2 is better than 1. Everybody knows that. But memes aside, this is going to fix many of the light issues, flickering that Lanterns of Skyrim 1 was causing, or the landscape problems, and it adds so many more lanterns. The author has put so much love into this mod, so it is just an incredible mod to have. So I thought this is one of the must mods for you to have, or at least one of those type of mods that many people did not know that there was a better version out there. Okay, next, I know many of you are going to hate me for this, if not the majority of people hate me already. This is the notice board. Oh my god, Kavou, not the notice board. Let me explain before throwing the hate on me. There is so many better options for the notice boards. Notice boards themselves have been causing some very weird inconsistencies, causing crashes and other errors happening in specific areas, and I was getting crashes as well, and it is a very outdated mod. I mean, last time it got an update. I'm afraid to make the math. It's been a while, guys. There is a better mod out there, and I'm going to give you the options I'm using. First of all, you want to go and grab Headhunter. Bounty is redone. This is going to do exactly what notice board is doing, but it will only cover the bounties. When it comes to Skyrim, which we all know, they suck. And they suck a lot. Many philosophers question to this day, what is worse, Kavou's English or the bounties in Skyrim? I cannot answer to this one. However, I can tell you that Headhunter is going to fix the bounty system. And if you want something, it will do exactly what notice board does without any of the issues. You want to go and grab a mod called Missives. It's going to do the exact same thing. It combining that with the bounties or the Headhunter mod, it is going to give you a much more better experience into your game. And I'm also going to link you some of the stuff you should get with Missives, like the Witcher board retexture, which makes it look like the Witcher board. It is an amazing retexture. And also the World Space additions, which is going to add Missives in shortest time. I don't care if it's not called shortest time, I'm just calling it like that. It's a skill issue, guys. I can only do this much. Next, we have a mod that I haven't seen almost anyone including into any video, aside from few exceptions, of course, and this is Wonders of Weather. Kavou, not Wonders of Weather, not our animated stars, our splashes, our cute rainbows. I mean, look at those rainbows. This mod has been causing many issues as well. You can read most of them in the back section. It mostly comes when it's conflicting with many other weather type of mods. I found a solution for this mod, and there is many replaces for this. Let me explain what this mod does. Wonders of Weather adds animated stars, rainbows, and some splashes when it comes to raining. Those are fine and cute, but given that this mod has never got any update in the recent history, and given that it has the same bugs it had almost a decade ago, it is safe to say to drop this mod and try to replace it. I'm going to give you 3 options, guys. First of all, go and get Rainbows Remade. This is going to remake the rainbows. As the mod describes, it's made by Ricardo Evans. I love the name. Go also and get Splashes of Storms. This is going to add this splash effect. You're getting this effect right here without any of the issues or without any possibility of you getting a crash with this unless you do something really wrong on your part. And lastly, go and get the Shooting Stars for Skyrim Special Edition, which is going to add Shooting Stars. Add those 3 mods. I know it feels kinda weird because we are adding 3 mods just to fix one, but trust me, guys, by adding those 3 mods, you are getting all of the effects and much more. You are getting a much more immersive experience in Skyrim. So I wouldn't use Wonders of Weather, and I would highly recommend you, as always, not to use this mod. You have been warned. I've included SkySail in my previous video, and I mistranslated what SkySail was doing. It is essentially the same with this mod I'm including, an engine type of mod that adds a bunch of things. And this is combat gameplay overhaul, similar to SkySail, not really that similar, but this mod is going to add a bunch of animations. Most of the animations or how they are implemented implemented and how they work, usually it doesn't work very well. The mod is very buggy, you are not going to get any crashes from this, not as far as I have tried it for many years, but you will get your character T-posing or some animations feeling weird and junky, and this overall a weird mod to have. I've made a video which is not the best. I am including MCO and how to install it. MCO is one of those choices. If you want to watch that, you can watch my video regarding MCO, although it is outdated because at the time I was making this video, Open Animation Replacer was not out. But if you want to get an idea what MCO does, it completely does what combat gameplay Overhaul does, but much better. What I like to use is personally run Nemesis with some of my custom animations of my preference. I like to keep my game vanilla friendly. I would recommend you, if you want first person animations, to get a comprehensive first person animation overhaul by Polar Robot, which is going to make the first person animation look like the opposite of this video, look absolutely crispy, amazing and well done. You can say that Polar is an extremely skillful animator and his first person animations are absolutely amazing to use. Very sus mod, guys. Either get MCO or just run Nemesis and add your personal favorite animations and stack them on top of each other, which is what I like to do. Then we have Blowing the Wind, and it's a mod that has been causing some issues related with physics and how the wind effects work. It has been an issue with how the trees, or should I say the 3D textures, work with the wind. Usually those two are conflicting with anything that adds wind effects on objects. Blowing the Wind has been very buggy, which is why I will recommend you to replace it with Skyrim is Windy. It is a much more lightweight mod when it comes to scripts. It doesn't work sadly with 3D objects like 3D trees and plants, but it's one of those mods that I always like to use. It hasn't caused me any issue, and that's with me using over 2000 mods in some of my playlists, including all the type of physics. Blowing the Wind, I will take the risk and say it is very overrated, and Skyrim is Windy. It's a mod that is starting to get much more love over the years. If you have something that does it better, feel free to let me know down in the comment section. I always read those. That's it for the wind. Next we have New Beginnings Live Another Life extension. This is going to add new paths for you to use on Live Another Life. Almost any time you add any new path or you try to change how alternate start works, you're going to have immediate crashes with some of those mods. I will highly recommend you guys just to run alternate start, aka Live Another Life, the way God meant it to be. That is Arthmore, the Giga Chat, who still puts patches for this amazing mod. But as I've mentioned before, guys, anything that adds any new cells, any new layers to the already amazing mod Live Another Life, like New Beginnings, in some of those locations you're going to have crashes, and this comes down to your personal mod list. Maybe you don't run that many landscape type of mods, or maybe you don't run any city overhauls and you will be fine. And lastly, closing in, we have a mod that is probably going to cost me my head on this video. Simple Knock. No matter how many different patches you feed it, it will always find a way to cause either some crashes or other things I don't even want to mention. I'm joking, of course, it is not that bad. However, Simple Knock, it is a very buggy mod. I haven't found anything that does something similar aside from some West mods. I love the features that this mod is adding. I just don't care about installing 10,000 different patches to make it work. I would recommend you guys not to run this mod unless you cannot really play without it. There is many patches around and many other ways to kinda make it feel less buggy. Again, this can be my personal preference. Maybe it's just me, typical Kavou, trying to clickbait you into my delusional type of mod series, but maybe what I'm saying at some part is true. You let me know if you have issues or not. That was it, guys. That has been 10 other mods have been causing many issues, many problems, with, of course, as you have suggested, with some much more stable replacements already do wrong, and hopefully help you have a much more immersive experience when it comes to play Skyrim with less bugs. Without any ado, I'm going to close this video. Thank you all for your amazing support, it means a lot to me, and if I make some of you mad with my videos, that is not the goal. I want to apologize in advance if I made any of you mad, but at the same time, I want to wish you to have a beautiful week. Take care, adventurers. It was me, Kavou, and until next time, happy modding.